Hello and welcome to the refresher video of Hit Film Express as part of the ASBAS workshop Let's Edit Your Video, which is part 3 of Reg's video bootcamp. So here we are in Hit Film Express, the free software that you can use to edit your videos. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go top left and go new. Okay, so these are all the project settings. Now, generally, I would just leave these alone, but I'm just going to change it to 30 frames per second because that's what I prefer. And 1920 by 1080 is the size of the video, which is what we want. And I'm going to leave it all as is and then hit OK. Here we are on the interface. Let me show you around. Okay, top left, we have the trimmer clip. So this is where we'll actually trim the beginnings and ends off of clips. This is the viewer, so we'll actually see what's being played down here. This is the timeline, and over here we have our tabs, which is effects, media, and we have controls and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so that's generally what it looks like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the media that I need for this project. So I'm going to navigate to where I've saved this on my computer. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm looking for Hit Film Express, and then I'm going to go to my media. So if you notice, I've got, don't worry about this one, but I've got everything labeled and organized so I know where it all is. Okay, so I'm going to import all of these. So these are video files, and this is a logo. All right, so now it's just importing them all on the left-hand side here. So if you look, media tab, this is where all our media is. So I'm just waiting for it to import it all. Okay, and it looks like it's all there. Right, so let's bring our first clip onto the timeline. Okay, so here's our first clip here. So it's telling me that settings that I recorded the video in are different to the settings that I've set for the project. So I'm just going to change them over just to make it easier. Okay, so here we have a timeline. So this is a dividing line. Above the dividing line is the video files, and you can have as many as you like. And below the line are the audio files, and likewise, you can have as many as you like. So this was just a quick test to see if it was working. All right, so what I've done here, this is a read-through to give me an idea of pacing. Okay? So I'm going to use that as my base. What I'm going to do is go down here. This is the zooming in part. Okay. So I'm just going to go to the left. Now, to trim this clip to where I want to start. All right, which is, I'm going to say, is about there. Now, this is just for reference. So if you look, I'm dragging the clip to the left. Okay, but let me just redo that again, just so I can show you. Now, if you look, it changes to a parenthesis. That's when you know you can trim to the right. So I'm not moving the clip to the right, I'm trimming the beginning off. So I'm going to go right up to the playhead, and it snaps into position there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this all the way up here and go to the beginning of my project. Select all, drag to the left. Okay, so this is just a read through, and I'm going to do the same on this side. So let's just have a listen. Okay, so I'm going to trim that clip. Okay, so essentially we're looking at 26 seconds roughly. Okay, now let's go back and double click on our next clip. So I'm going to go to this clip. This is the one I'm after, so I'm going to double click. Okay, and then I'm going to scroll to the beginning. Right, again, a little bit of organizing. Okay, so about there. So I'm going to go to this point here, which is in point, and I'm just going to play it.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of your ideal customer? You need to hold it.
All right. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to go, these are frame by frame. Okay, so I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to outpoint. Right, just for reference, I'm going to lock this and lock this. That means that I can't move it, I can't select it, I can't do anything with it. So it is just for reference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, because this is the opening shot, and I'm going to bring it onto this track here. Okay, as you can see, We might need to trim the beginning up a little bit, but let's move in. So zoom in here, down to the little icon. All right, so there's that bit. So I can trim all the way up to about here and then drag that to the left. Probably a little bit too much. Give it a little bit of a gap to breathe. And then I'm going to drag that. Now, I'm going to mute this and turn that off. Okay, so let's have a look.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of the ideal customer?
Right, okay. Now, I'm looking for the next shot. But I'm going to move in and change the framing. So I'm going to go to my next clip. And then I'm going to go to where it starts. Okay, press play.
Attention of the ideal customer.
All right, so now, there we go. That's my in point for the second shot. Press play.
Are you a business owner that needs to attract the...
No.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of the ideal customer?
Okay, that's not too bad. Let's go back. Okay, so I want the in point to be there. Play.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of the ideal customer?
Now, look down a bit quick there, but let me just go back to about there. One more frame, mouth closed, out point, and then I'm going to drag that, and I'm going to put it on this line here. Okay, so now this clip is too long, so I need to bring it into about there. But what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to lift this clip to the next level, so it's got 3 layers of video now, and I'm going to drag this across. So now this is going to be, because there's no overlap, it's going to be a cut transition. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to trim this clip, and then I'm going to drag it to the right, and that's pretty close in regards to timing. Remember, I just did this a dry read just for timing. So now I can go back and I can play the first clip.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of the ideal customer? Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of the ideal customer?
I've done the same thing twice there. All right, so then let's go back. Let's go back in point.
Are you a business owner that needs to attract the eye? Are you a business owner that needs to attract the attention of the ideal customer? Do you need to hold their attention while you explain your USP?
Okay, so what I can do is I can delete that because that was a bit silly. Let's drag that one and bring that to level or audio level 3, layer 3 I should say. We've selected it. I want to get that green parenthesis and drag it to the right. So I'm trimming the beginning of the clip and I'm going to drag it there. And now if I bring the playhead, the timing isn't so bad. So I'm just going to bring it a slightly, so it looks like it's, and there we go, bring that to the left so there's no black clip. All right, so now we can watch it.
Of the ideal customer. Do you need to hold their attention while you explain your USP?
Okay, so that's looking a bit better. So I'm just going to drag that a little bit and I'm going to bring that in. So I've trimmed the end off the clip. Now I need to go to the, I'm going to, oh, let me have a think.
Do you want your marketing message to be evergreen and have a life?
All right, so I'm going to go back to this clip here, just because I can.
Do you need to hold their attention while you explain your USP? Do you want your marketing message to be evergreen and have a long lifespan? They need
All right, so let's go back, play.
attention while you explain your USP. Do you want your marketing message to be evergreen and have a long lifespan? They need to consider.
Okay, so there we go. I've got the third one. So I'm going to drag it from there because that's a trimmed clip. I'm going to put it there. Okay, so now as you can see on the green here, it starts a little bit quicker than it does on the orange down here. So I'm just going to very quickly trim that clip, drag it to the left, and maybe a little bit more just for argument's sake. And then drag it to the left so I'm avoiding it's a straight cut and there's no black. Okay, so that's close. So let's have a listen.
USP. Do you want your marketing message to be evergreen and have a long lifespan?
Okay, now I'm going to go to this one here because I know this is my tighter shot. So let me just get to the point here. Now, it's, again, different framing. Let the camera focus.
Then you need to consider video marketing. They need to consider video marketing.
Nope, I like the first one better, so I'm going to go back and in point. Play.
Then you need to consider video marketing.
Pause. Out point. Okay, drag the clip from the trimmer onto your timeline, and again I'm just alternating tracks here so I can visually see what's happening. All right, now I notice that I really want to be starting this clip here, starting the audio, sorry, just on that timeline indicator. So I'm going to drag that a bit to the left, and then I can actually drag this one to the right. Again, trimming the beginning of the clip, and then so that's not too bad in regards to the lining up there for timing. So let's have a listen.
Long lifespan. Then you need to consider video marketing.
Right, so now I'm going to go back to my main shot here, which is this one. So this one is 4489. So go to here.
Video is also within
All right, so let's have a listen.
your sales funnel and is really good at attracting, engaging, and converting more of your digital browsers into buyers. So
No, I'm going to go to this one here.
do you want your marketing message to be evergreen and have a long lifespan? Then you need to consider video marketing.
All right, so in point.
Video is also within your sales funnel and is really effective at engaging. Video is also within your sales
Stop. Right, sorry, I've messed up there.
engaging. Video is also within your sales funnel and is really effective at it. Video is also within your sales funnel. It is really effective at oh, come on, attract. Video is also within your sales funnel. It is really effective at attracting, engaging, and converting more of your digital browsers into buyers. So if you want
Okay, so I'm going to pause that. Okay, so I'm just going to go back. I'm going to bring that forward a little bit just so I'm starting on a closed mouth. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to bring this to the right, my timeline, and I'm going to drag this clip down to here. Okay, so now I'm looking and I'm thinking, right, I need to trim this clip slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to bring it to the right. Yeah, that's pretty close. So let's have a watch.
video is also within your sales funnel. It is really effective at attracting, engaging, and converting more of your digital browsers into buyers.
All right. So clicking on the clip that I want to manipulate, I'm going to trim the clip again, roughly to the playhead. Okay, and now I'm just trying to think there. Now what I might do, I don't think I actually did, so
Then you need to consider video marketing.
okay, so I'm just going to go back to this one. I'm going to play from there.
Video is also within your sales.
Let's go back.
So if you want more effective,
Again, just trying to find that.
more of your digital browsers into buyers.
Okay, pause that. In point, play.
So if you want more effective marketing, come have a chat with me, Rex Sorrell from Online Videos Perth.
Stop. Pause. Again, drag the clip to the layer 3. Okay, and then we can actually trim the clip again, bring it in a little bit, drag that to the right. Okay, so now let's have a look.
Into buyers. So if you want more effective marketing, come have a chat with me, Rex Sorrell from Online Videos Perth.
There we go. That's essentially it. So let me just zoom out a bit. Okay, so now I've used this track, which I just read through, is like a timing track. Okay, and then I've brought in, let me just zoom down, tilt down a bit, and then I've got one shot, two shot, and a third shot. So what I could have done is I actually could have kept the same framing and used and recorded a call to action, but I've just used it for this one shot here, just to show you can use a sort of a close-up shot in your video. Now, I quite like that. I'm happy with it. Generally, I could go through and refine the timing slightly. But what I noticed that I haven't done is I haven't got a beginning or an end. So let's do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the clips. Now you'll notice that even though it looks selected, the bars are still across. And I can't move layer 1 for the audio or the video. So I'm going to drag everything to the right. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to put in a colored background and a title and my logo. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to add something new. So I'm going to add the new and I want to choose plain. Okay, so let's just call this color background. Right, and then this is where I get to choose the color. So you get a slider for the darkness. Okay, and then you can choose whatever color you like. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to use a gray color because that's essentially a brand color for me, and I'm going to leave that as it is, and I'm going to click OK. Now, if you notice in my media panel or tab, I now have a colored background, right? So then what I can do is then I can drag that onto here. All right. Now, a bit too long. Let's just trim that. So I'm going to want this to be 3 seconds. So if you look on the right-hand side of that little new duration, 305, 304, 32, and 3 seconds. Okay, so then that's 3 seconds. So I'm going to bring that down to the layer 2. And I just know now, actually no, I'm going to leave it on. No, I'll leave it there. Okay, so now what else do I want to do? I want to add text, don't I? Okay, so what I do is I go up here to the text bar, click on text. This is where, and I click here, and then I start to type. So let's call it elevator pitch for online videos Perth. Okay, now I want to manipulate that text. I want to change the color. So here's the color section. Oh, no, beg your pardon. Here's the color here. So I'm going to click that and I'm just going to go for straight black. Okay, now I'm not overly keen on that font, but I have actually just go sensation. That's for me. And now I'm thinking that's a little bit small. So what I can do is, I can click the arrows up. All right, and let's have a look. I could probably put in a value if I was more inclined. So let's go 120. Okay, now I'm still not overly keen with that because it's a bit left justified, and now we are center justified. So now if you notice on our viewer, I still have a text cursor. So if I was going to do something, it would be in the text. So now I have to go back up and change my selection tool. Okay, and now I've got a blue box around the text, which is now where I can move it. Okay, I can move it anywhere on the screen. So I'm just going to put it roughly about there. And I'm going to go back to my media tab and I'm going to find my logo, which is here. And I'm going to drag it onto the timeline. Sorry, to the timeline. There we go. And I'm going to put it above. Now, this is the text. So every time you put something on the timeline, you actually get an indication or a box on your timeline. So you know what it is, where it is, and how long it lasts for. Okay, so remembering the priorities, anything on top will have priority and you'll be able to see, and hiding anything underneath unless it has a transparent background, which this does, this logo here does. Okay, but as you can see, it's way too big and I want to actually bring it down in scale and in position. So let's go to controls, let's go to transform. Let's go to scale. So I'm going to click on that and drag it to the left. And as you can see, it is, okay, I'm going to go about there, I reckon. Okay, so 30% in scale and position. So right hand side is up and down. So I'm going to bring that down to the left. We'll bring it down, sorry, dragging it to the left. And look, there we go. That's the beginning of it. So I'm just going to drag this down a little bit, and you can also change the size so you can give your timeline more room. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to have something on at the end. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put my timeline here and I'm going to paste it. Now it didn't paste on video 1 because of the locking. All right, so now I'm going to grab it, bring it to here. I'm going to copy that and do the same thing. I'm going to bring that there. But now I don't want that text. I want different text. So I'm going to place my cursor there. Actually, let me just bring it at the beginning. Go to text, click on the A for text. I'll get the text icon. Click on your viewer panel and you should be able to type. There we go. Don't know what happened there. So, call to action. For all your video marketing needs, call Reg on. And then 040 171 9859 is my number. Just edit it as you would normally do. Any text, I'm going to go back to the controls. Back to the text, and I want to make that center justified again. And I think that's okay. I'm going to go back and change the cursor. So I've got the select cursor, and then I can add that. And oh, what happened there? Right, now let's just see what happened. Now, I did one of two things. I've either zoomed in on the actual viewer or I've scaled up by some mistake. So I can check of two things. Bottom right hand side here, right? I'm seeing 400%, so that's telling me that I've actually zoomed in. I haven't scaled up. But just to be sure, select the text and then go to controls, go to transform, and it's 100%. So we know that the problem is down here, so I can click that and go to 100, and there we go. All right, so I need to trim that to the left, trim that. Oh, what's going on there? So if I get rid of that. Right, I don't know what that was. That was a bit weird. So anyway, we're done with this, so I can delete that because that was just for timing and pacing. I want to select everything. Now, I want to put, well, we've got black there because black's the default. Okay, so what I want to do is it's all selected. I want to move it up to the left. Okay, so there we go. So now we have the video. So we have a beginning. We have the video itself. And then we have a call to action. Okay, and there we go all the way to there, and that's the end. Right, so now there's lots of different effects that you can do, and I'm not going to go into that just yet because this is just a basic video editing workshop. But there we go. You have different layers of video, different layers of audio. One thing that I didn't mention is like dissolves. So basic transitions are to cuts and dissolves. We've just got cuts here in the vision, okay? And there's no dissolves here because there's cuts essentially in the audio. But if I wanted to, so let me just zoom in. I'm going to select this clip. Now, if I want to put, let's see what happens. Now I'm holding, hold on. No, that's not right. Command, must be command. Okay, so command on a Mac, and I imagine it'd be control on a PC. I've actually put in I'm going to hold it down and put another one in. So now I have two keyframes. This white line around here is it's a rubber band essentially, that's what we call it, but it controls the audio level. So let me press play.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of your ideal customer?
Okay, so selection tool still selected. Now I can grab this. Okay, sorry, let me just make sure I've got that selected. I don't want to add. Okay, see, now if I drop that down and play it back, you can't hear anything. And I go all the way up, it's going to be too loud.
Are you a business owner that needs to
And
grab
see the right hand side here, it's peaking. Right, so basically, if you drag it down, you'll see the bottom number, 2.67, 1.3, and then 00. That's the beginning, so that's decibels, right? So if you had an overlap of audio, you could do nice transitions between the two, right? That's one way of doing a transition. The other way is to go to your effects, and then look for video. So down here, transitions, audio and video, and then you just drop down, dissolve, drop down, cross dissolve, drag and drop onto the end or beginning of your clip. Okay, and that there's a duration which you can adjust. Okay, now because I've got nothing underneath it, what do you think is going to happen? Let's play and find out. It fades to black. So alternatively, you need to have a cross dissolve on the top of this one and they're overlapping. So this is actually a dissolve to black and this one is a dissolve up from black. And then you get a nice cross dissolve. So that's what that is. But I don't want to dissolve there. So I'm going to highlight and I'm going to delete. Okay, so let's just zoom out a little bit. Get the whole spectrum of the video. So I'm selecting everything. Now I'm just going to drop it down one layer so we can all see it. And there is our completed video. Now, it helps if I unlock everything and they were all muted. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay, so there we have it. Opening the video, different shots, your audio is there, and we have a call to action. Right, now what do we do? Right, we want to get it out or from this software onto our desktop so we can upload it to YouTube, upload it to Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is you want to use it for. So down here on the right hand side of your timeline, or it's called the editor here, you have the export button. You click the export button, you then dedicate a saving location. So let me just go back to where I saved the same stuff before, hit Film Express, final video. So let's call this Workshop Elevator Pitch. Okay, and then I'm going to press save, and then it's going to come up here and it's going to start exporting. Now this is a queue, so this is what we did the other day, just these examples, and now it has started. So if you look down here, it's telling you it's got 1.5 minutes remaining in the export. So if for some reason you want to pause that to check something, you could suspend it and then come back to it if you needed to. That is essentially it. So what I'll do, and I'll just show you exactly where it's been saved, and I'll do a quick play of the final video. Okay, so as you can see, it has finished exporting. This is the folder that I saved it in. So let's have a watch of the final video.
Are you a business owner that needs to grab the attention of your ideal customer? Do you need to hold their attention while you explain your USP? Do you want your marketing message to be evergreen and have a long lifespan? Then you need to consider video marketing. Video is awesome within your sales funnel. It is really effective at attracting, engaging, and converting more of your digital browsers into buyers. So if you want more effective marketing, come and have a chat with me, Reg Sorrell from Online Videos Perth.
There we go. That's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, or if you're actually editing and you get stuck, you can always give me a call and I'm happy to help if I can. Thanks for watching and good luck with your video editing.